And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. I got sound on the YouTube. Let's check the Twitch. YouTube. Let's check the Twitch. Oh, I can hear the Twitch. And a one fish, two fish. Let's check the Twitch. Oh, I can hear the Twitch. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Oh, I can hear the Twitch. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. What are we doing today? It's still the Cowgirl outfit. Today I wanted to set up the undone versions. And I may want to do too many of these. We're going to have at least one where the whole thing gets undone. Not like this shirt. Also, I got textures to and material files to set up. So that is more than enough stuff to take 3 hours. So let's see, where are we with this? OG. I'm going to try something. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to rig the undone version to the one with the buttons already on it and see if there's a way I can get that rigged and then have the buttons stay on there. I have an idea with the transfer tool how to do this. We're going to give that a shot if that doesn't work. Because I'm actually thinking of doing 3 undone versions for each version. So that would be 6 dresses. They're more or less the same. I can save a lot of time because I can just transfer most of the stuff off of the already done version. But the thing is, I'm not sure I want to do 9 rigid follow nodes 6 more times. So for starters, we're just going to do the undone all, which basically means I'm going to get rid of the seam that is holding the front together all the way down. A couple other versions I'm thinking of doing. Well, let's get some stuff in here and start going. A couple other versions is I want to maybe do an undone top, which will like be set up so that the top 3 or so buttons are undone, and then an undone bottom where the bottom 2 to 3 buttons are undone. But that might be overkill. It depends on how tedious. And I'm certainly not going to do those on stream if they're tedious. If it's tedious, it'll probably get done, probably tomorrow. So try to avoid too much tedium, although a lot of what I do is just plain tedium anyhow. Anyhow, let's try this. So we're just going to pop in a copy of the dress here, right? Did that not do anything? It's thinking about it. So this is the wearable preset with the buttons on it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to save a copy of this out. There's there's a material zones in here called attachments. If I select those and delete them, then the dress is undone on the front, basically. So we're going to do, I think for safety reasons, I should probably fix those sleeves. Those are kind of bothering me. I'll make a morph for those. Anyhow, I think we're just going to export this out, pop it in the blender, remove, there's a material zone in here called dress attachments. There are 2 thin rows holding the front together. They should be invisible. And basically, if I get rid of those, the dress can then come apart. With those in there, it holds it in place as if it's buttoned up nicely. So let's do this. Let's select the dress. Let's pop over to here. We're going to make sure our mesh resolution is set to base, and we're going to turn the smoothing off. And then I'm going to export this out right there where I stuck an export button. Customized my toolbar for that. Let's go to morphs. Actually, yeah, I'm going to stick those right here, right in the main morph file, and we're going to call you. You're probably the same as this one right here, but just to stay straight, dress G8F. Save that. Oops. All right, that didn't save because I got a folder named that, doy. Let's try this again. Dress. What is the actual name of this? I can't move you now, can I? Nope, that would be Daz. Let's do this. I'm going to pop over here and just copy that. Okay, now we're going to do this. Come over here. Paste it right there. I'm going to call you dress undone. And I think, yeah, we're just going to say undone. Except that should be good. All right, let's get Blender going here. What in the world I got going on in Blender? You know what? I don't need that. Let's save you and close. I think I still have boots open too. Yeah, you know what? You're not I can just get rid of all of this. This is just a working file. So we're going to clean that up and go with this. Let's move you so I can see chat. In the off chance somebody says hi. Let's put you over here. And let's bring in that dress. I hotkeyed an import to F5. I am looking for, let's go up. We're going to, there's the one we just did. All right, excellent. Okay, we're going to remove these strips in here that should say undone. Why are you looking weird? You know, it picked up a color when it came out, didn't it? Yeah, it'll be fine. Am I in edit mode? All right, let's do this. We should have dress attachments, right? Select those. Those are those two little rows that are holding the front together. So we're going to get rid of that. Just deleting the faces. And that's going to become undone all. Because now I should, we'll double check this. So when I do the expanding here, this shouldn't jump over this gap. So I can see I got my gap in there, looking good. If I come up here, so that's the way it's supposed to go. So that tells me I don't accidentally have anything connected in there. All right, now we're just going to export you. Let's see, shade smooth. Hit the secret export button. Come over to here. This one is going to be, I'm going to call this undone all. And we'll use my DAS preset, which basically is selection and materials and a few other things. Applies modifiers if it has them. Okay, I'm going to undo that delete. Oops. Dang it. You know what? I'm going to have to re-export you again because I didn't mean to. No, wait, I'm fine. I'm fine. I can just re-import you. There we go, because I didn't save over it. Excellent. Now what I can do is, if I want to do one where just the top's done, we can just pull out the attachment things at the top. Same thing for the undone version with the bottom. But I'm going to see how the how this goes. So let's load in our undone dress. So we can't use this as a morph target because the vertex order is different because the geometry count is different. And I'm lost. Where am I going? Over here. Whip. Morphs. Did I not save and undone all? I did, right there. Okay. I'm going to import you. I'm going to try the thing where we replace the existing dress with this dress. So we're going to use the transfer tool to apply this to this. And there's an option that when I get done, it replaces out this. And I want to see if that works, if it keeps my, my rigid attachment nodes in place or not. It might not delete them. I might have to go in and reselect and reset up the nodes. And actually, that would save me a lot of trouble. Anywho, except on the undone dress, I want those all on the inside. So I probably have to redo those anyhow. Yeah, let's see what happens. Transfer tool time. We're going to take the dress. Western dress, a G8 female Western dress. There we go. And we're going to make you part of that. And I don't have any projection template options. And so I'm just going to accept. Oops. I don't think that's what I wanted to do. Not quite. Let's try that again. I wanted to try something and I forgot to do it. I forgot the little checkbox. So we're going to re-import all. Okay, now we're going to run the transfer tool with the dress against the undone dress. I'm going to come here more. I'm going to replace the source with the target. I think the rest of this is probably good. Let's see how this goes. If I accept that. So did my rigid follow notes? And are my materials still good? All right, my material names all look still good. Let's check and see how the rigid follows. They're all hidden, so you can't see them. Let's see if I do that. You know what? I think they're in the right spot. Only thing is, I don't want them. I think they're currently attached to this, and I want them attached to the other side because that's going to be the unbuttoned. So on the button version, they're on the outside. On the unbuttoned version, they'll be on the inside. So I think for that, we're going to just select that and hide it. Hide the two of them. And then I'm just going to reapply these nodes. I think or do I just need to redo all the nodes? I might just need to redo all the nodes. And we probably got to move all the buttons a little bit. Maybe not much. Actually, the way I did that, they're all nice and tight. Did I not hide you? You know, it's going to be a little bit of work. But actually, I think on the other two versions, the undone ones where I'm going to move the... it gets tricky. I think I'm still playing around with nodes a lot. Probably. Yo, Art, how are you doing today? Oh, did Rod Shelley pop in? No, that was from last stream. I'm setting up an undone version of the dress. Hey, and Charles, is that Charles or is that? No, that's Art doing the Rod command. But Rod's not here. Rod's not here, man. All right. I could probably just make the Morse now and worry about the buttons later. That's right. Art's not here, man. No, it's me. It's Rod. No, it's me. It's Art. It's me. No, dude, Art's not here, man. Open up, man. The cops are after the cops. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Am I going to worry about these later? You know what? I think I might just worry about these later. I think for right now, we'll just. I'm going to save this. And do we have? Did my? Is the D-Force on here? He still has the D-Force. I totally, yeah, the rigid follow nodes aren't attached anymore, so I have to completely redo those anyhow. So I'm not going to worry about the rigid follow nodes because I'll have to redo all of that anyhow. How did you? Oh, you came apart nicely. Okay, so it picked up. I'm going to stiffen up that collar though. I think I probably should do that in the long run anyhow. Let's come over here. Did I not set you to like a dynamic strength? You're supposed to have a dynamic strength of like 0.5 or something. Dude. Is everything just set to 1? I'm going to have to adjust the. Anyhow, let's clear that. Let's just drop on my generic shader. I'm going to save that. We're going to run a copy of this. Actually, we have a copy of this sitting over in the morph folder. We're going to take that into whatchamacallit, Marvelous Designer, and do some morphs. And Chris's brain has stopped. I'm applying my generic shader. Excellent. We'll save this right now. Do I have a Control Shift F? Do we need a? I think I need to add a smoothing modifier because it's yeah. Let's do that. Actually, is there a smoothing modifier on here? I don't see it. Do I have to add? I think I have to add the mesh resolution back though, don't I? Yep. All right, let's add the mesh resolution back. Edit geometry, void to sub D, and I'm going to come over here, edit geometry. There is a remove smoothing, and then we'll just put it back so that it recalculates on this version. Edit geometry, add smoothing modifier. All right, should be good. I have a D-Force modifier on here, although I'm really going to tweak all of that stuff up. And now my throat's getting stuffed. All right, we're back. Did Toilet After Dark change his name to Tatty Bidet? He did. I think I updated the command. There we go. Just, although honestly, a bidet makes a slightly different noise, doesn't it? Okay, I think I'm ready to save this out. So let's do that. Boing. Which folder I'm in? I'm in the Genesis 9 folder. Let's go over to the Genesis 8 and save over there. Oh, hold on a second. Yep. Yep. Oh, I'm not interested. Take care. All right, that was a telemarketer. And I'm old. I got a landline. What are we doing? I'm saving this. I'm going to save right there. But this is going to be dress undone all. Because I'm optimistic that I'll make 2 other versions and it won't be too painful. So I'm going to save that. Dale Western. That looks good. That's probably good. I think I'm going to just do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of, we're going to freeze everything from here down and try to make a couple where I just pull the top open a little bit, because I can steal that later on. Then I'm going to, did I pick up my adjustment morphs in this? Probably not. Oh, there, they picked up. Huzzah. Did I get my special morphs in this? Look at that, the special morphs came over. Excellent. So we're going to add more special morphs now that we can undo this. I'm going to do one where we're going to just kind of act as if those top 2 buttons are undone and pull those apart a little bit. And so I'm going to have an undone top and an undone bottom, which is basically going to be these bottom 2 buttons are undone, these top 2 buttons. I'm going to maybe pull that apart a little bit for a bottom undone morph, a little bit for a top undone morph. Then we're just going to start pulling. We'll pull it so that the left side opens 1, 2, and then off the shoulder. And then the right side 1, 2, and then off the shoulder. And if I do those right, I won't have to make a morph that does both of them. It really doesn't make sense for this to have down morphs, where you're taking the dress, because you just pull it off your shoulders. And I already have the on the ground morphs done. So we did that with the full version, or I did that yesterday with the full version. So anyhow, let's get this into Blender and start, or into Marvelous Designer and start. And then I got to do this for Genesis 9. And then we have way too material files to start making and rendering thumbnails for. Yo, it's Mr. Charles in the house, baby. Oh, yeah. Check out Charles's Discord. You can follow him on Twitch, but doesn't stream that much. And he's got stuff on Fourth Wall, like this mug. I think this mug's over there. This beautiful Sarah mug. And what am I doing? There we go. That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting. Let's go to the Genesis 8 avatars. Let's load in that so that we can make our extra morphs. Let's put you over here so I can still see chat. Let's import in file, import add obj as garment. Where are we? Morphs. You know what? That probably, no, that's the old one. I want this one right here. Let's say okay on that. Did that not work? Let me try that again. Did I not export that right? You know what? I may have. Did I export instead of import? Import add obj to garment. I thought that's what I did. It does say undone all. Oh, bother. Why are you not showing up? Am I in the right program? I am. What if I import you into this? Undone all. Actually, we're gonna close this. Don't save. That's right. Chris is having issues. Go figure. Hey, Lund, how are you doing today? I'm trying to add more to a dress, but Marvel's designer doesn't like the dress, so we're trying to ascertain as to what's wrong with it, which basically means I try to redo things. Let's import in this dress right here. Do you still have your UV editing? Yes. Let's pop back over to here. So let's just re-export this. See if that fixes things. And we'll pop back over here. Mess around with architecture in Blender. Oh, cool. You know, if you ever got pictures you want to share, feel free to post the links in Twitch chat. I still have to remind myself to go check and see if YouTube chat will ban you or not. I didn't change anything over there, so I don't know what the default settings are. But if you're in the Twitch chat and you want to share pictures, also we got the gallery over in the Discord. Feel free to drop stuff in there and we can share it on the Saturday Night Social if you're inclined. If you're not, that's cool. But you are welcome. You've been here often enough. I don't mind. It's somebody who pops in and starts advertising themselves. New viewer, check out my shit. I might, actually, if it's 3D, I might look at it anyhow. However, if you're hawking your Twitch DJ channel, I'll probably ban you. Maybe. Sorry about that. All right, let's try this again. Why are you not acting right? Okay, whip morphs. There's the dress. Open you up. Add garment meters. I think all of this should be right. All right, we got it this time. I don't know what went wrong. Something in that save, I guess. All right, let's just try this. It should just fall apart. That's a little tweaky. It probably has to do with my collision distance. So we might, and you can kind of see how the collar kind of ballooned up just a little bit. So that's probably, I'm probably going to tweak that. Let's undo. I'm going to come over here. Additional thickness. If I say a millimeter, still doing the same thing. I might have to do stupid dress tricks to get this to work right. Ruh-roh, I know. Can we just take a look at, what if we, actually, let's stop this. Let's try this again. I'm going to try the accurate. Let's try accurate fitting and see if that helps things any. No. Did you switch? You know, the accurate's not as bad. Collar's a little funky. I should probably... Hey, Chris, is it hard to learn how to use D-Force Engine inside of Marvel's Designer?
Well, it's not actually a D-Force engine, but it's not that hard. It is a much better. I mean, you can see I'm doing it in real time. You know what? Cartoon shader isn't an option in display drop options in DAS 3D 2025. I did not know that. Why are you so... My mesh isn't that dense, is it? Why are you so finicky today? It's almost like I double-sided the whole thing. Is there a show mesh? Wireframe? Oh, that's the avatar rendering. Garment render style. Show wireframe. I mean, that's not abnormal. I'm going to try something else. Let me try to open up an old version. I'm not going to spend, if this isn't going well, I won't spend too much time on stream with this. Let's try open project. I want to save. No, I don't want to save. Bodysuit. Where am I going? I'm going to somewhere in here. Should be fine. Okay, how are you? You seem fine. Okay. You know what? I really don't want these buttons anymore. I'm going to get rid of them. Oops, that's not the way you get rid of buttons. This is the way you get rid of buttons. Okay, let's fit you to whatchamacallit. Over in here, one of you is GH shape. Let's try that. Add to workspace. As a morph target. Say okay on that. That should be good. Are you stopped yet? Okay, it is stopped. I'm going to try to build a morph version of this and then see if I can transfer everything over. File, export, OBJ selected. Maybe put you right there. No, let's put you into the whip. I'm in the wrong folder. Because of course I am. Whip. Is that the right whip? That's the right whip. Dale Rest. You know what? I have this. This is probably what I'm exporting right now. Let's try that. It takes me a while. It takes me a while to remember what I did just a few days ago. So that one right there, I'm going to get rid of the attachments, and I'm going to hope that this lines up with the current version. Except, of course, we don't have the thick collar on this. Now I'm going to see if this loads up into whatchamacallit okay. Right there. Select those. I'm going to get rid of those faces. I'm going to export you. You're going to be undone all 9 point something something. 9.41, 94.1. That's why I know it's the small version. Let's use my dad's presets just in case and export that. Hey, Chris, you found a problem you were having with the render going. Oh, it must have been too much because you put a texture shader. Okay, so it wasn't loading in and you don't have a CPU fallback. Are you good? I think I'm good. Let's try this. So I'm going to hide you for just a minute. When I do that, it hides the buttons. Let's import in this one here, only I have to scale that up. I have a scaling factor written down here. So right here, instead of 10,000, we do 1062.969. Is that right? 629? 629.9. Oh, I can't read that. One 106269. 106269. Okay, 0.9. Got it. Is that right? 626. Oh yeah, there we go. That's it right there. 6269. Got it. Accept that. Looks good. I'm going to use the transfer tool on that. I'm just going to quickly. You stopped using CB for that very reason. That even if it wasn't heavy scene, it would only render with CPU. Oh, that's annoying. Genesis 8. That one there. I don't know if I really don't need a template on this, do I? I don't think so. I am going to use a template anyhow. What the hell? Knee length, except it does its thing. I'm going to see if this will load in my morph targets now. And I want to see how this lines up with this. You know what? Those are pretty close. I think I can get away with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the morphs for this version here that we just made. And then what we're going to do is, then I can take this, I can fit it to that, and then we can transfer the morphs over that way. All right, so Marvelous Designer. Did I not save you? I did. Maybe not. Did I just load in the wrong one? I may need to do this again because I think I may have loaded in the wrong file. Also, let's save this. I haven't saved this one yet. File save as project. Dale Western Dress G9 94.1. Tells me it's small. G9 G8 F 94.1. So I know it's the small one. And then over here, so I think that one's screwed up. That probably has attachments. So I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, no, wait. I did redo this, didn't I? That's right. We did it in Blender. Chris is just so confused. Let's just take a look. Am I missing? I am good. I do have to export this again, though. All right. So let's try that. Export. Undone all two. Eventually, I'll get this worked out. It's the thickness in the collar that's probably screwing me up. But it deforce is okay, and it looks better in DAS. That's the problem. Should be fine. Come over to here. You know what? I'm going to do file new. Let's see how this works. G8 avatar. Get that G8 avatar in here, and then I'm going to try this file import add obj to garment, and we'll grab the two and see if that's a bracelet. Yep. There we go. That's the dress. And now if I run the sim, okay, I think we can work with this. Stop that. We're going to make her really sticky. So we're going to do this. I'm going to add friction there and there. We'll turn off gravity. So now when I run the sim, nothing should happen. Okay, and nothing happened because there's no forces acting on the clothes. So it's still staying where it was. And now we're going to just pull the top open a little bit. Before we do that, though, we're going to pin a whole bunch of stuff. Let's do pin. No, let's do mesh select lasso. I'm going to grab maybe the sleeve like that. Sleeve like that. I got to figure out where I want to go with this. I'm going to zoom in and we're going to switch to wireframe so I can figure out what I'm doing. Wire texture shaded, and then I can see that line pretty clearly, so this gives me an idea of where we can just kind of count down, and that'll tell me where I want to pin. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go maybe 8 down. Whoops. Let me do that with a box. Damn it. Did I not? I lost my. So anyhow, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I want everything down from there. Looking good. And I'm just going to add all of this. And I think I can just grab everything on the back. And then we're just going to grab the sleeves a little bit. Maybe like that. And like this. I'm going to change the angle a little bit so we can get a little bit. I wish I could just x-ray through this stuff. That would be so nice. But it doesn't fall for that trick. But, you know, sometimes I think it thinks, you know, that would be convenient. We're not going to do it. All right, I'm going to pin all of that. And then I'm just going to say undo top. At least I hope I can do that. Now when we simulate, doesn't do a lot. But what I want to do is just kind of grab and maybe pull top apart a little bit. I probably shouldn't have pinned the sleeves like that. So let's back up a little bit. Can I go back to... I'm optimistic something will undo here. Oh, there we go. All right. Dang it. Am I starting all over again? Dang. Damn it. All right. I got to count again. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You just unchecked it all on Dad's 25, but love about 25 is the old man friendly font. Oh, a visible font would be so nice. The ability, I mean, that's a disability thing, right? The inability to change your UI. That's just, I hate disabled people. Says the guy who's too lazy to put closed captions on his stream. All right, let's try this. Let's make a pin out of that. I've been thinking about getting the closed captions back in. It's been a long time since that service shut down that I was using. So maybe we pull you over a little bit like that. Maybe I need to add some gravity in here. Minus 2. We'll do a 20%. It's eventually going to screw up and do what I want it to do. So maybe we do a little bit like that. Maybe I can get you pulled out over here a little ways. Yeah, I go to play with one side and the other side rolls back. I maybe should just stick a pin in something. I'm getting there. I got a corner that's rolled right there, though. I don't want that. All right, I think that's going to be good. That's going to be undo top. File, export, OBJ selected. At least this should be. Let's see how this works. Let's come over here. Undo, top. Save that. I think this should all be good. Thin, welded in meters. All right, let's see how this works. After all of that, let's see if we can load that into this one here as a morph target. Where am I? I'm in the, let's go to morphs. And I stuck that over here in dress G8F. And right there, undone top. Let's hope this works. It says it was successful. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to parent it to the other dress instead of what we have it on right now. And ideally, it will pick up these morphs. I might have to touch it up a little bit in Blender. I always wanted my default window settings accessible text size to 150, but Daz disregards it until now. Yay. Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to come over here to Mish. I'm going to actually fit this to the other dress, except that. And I think that picked up the morphs. So if we hide this, okay, we've now transferred that morph onto the dress I really wanted it on, using a proxy. And I might have to touch this up a little bit with ZBrush or probably Blender because ZBrush is funky. Anywho, so let's reset you. And then I can take this and we're going to rat hole that morph away before we lose it. That would be sad. So right in here, we're going to clean up this presentation later. But for right now, I'm just going to get that safely saved away before something goes bad. Let's pop back over. Marvelous designer. Okay, so this is good. My process is going to work, so I'm going to continue with this. I'm just going to undo this until we start losing the pins. Okay, we've lost the pins. This is the good base shape. I think I'm going to now try to pin half of this. Actually, let's pin down to here and see if I can get, I'm just going to pull these out a little bit to get a little bit of separation down there. Although when you deforce, it'll probably all just go away. So we're just going to count polys from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 35, 34, 34. I think will be a good number. We'll do that. So we'll try the same thing we did before. I wish, I tell you, these tools are just so basic. So freaking basic, bro. Okay, so I got to count up 34, try to remember where that is, and then grab it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I hate the way that it triangulates. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I heard a noise. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. That's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, right there, 34, right in there. I think I'm good. Sensari, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm working on adding morphs to a Cowgirl dress I've made. This will eventually be a Daz product. At least that's the plan. Oh, by the way, the Starheart rocket outfit available at Daz now. That just went live today. So we're currently making our morphs in Marvelous Designer. And then through a convoluted process, we are transferring them over to whatchamacallit. Exactly, that. You know what? There's a better tool for this. I should use that. Except the mesh box works better for this. If I switch tools now, this is going to go away. Oh, I helped you back with Marvelous Designer issues. Welded and welded stuff. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for popping in. I appreciate that. I'm going to create a pin there. I'm going to, is our gravity reset to 0? Simulation properties. My gravity is currently at 0. I want to just pull this bottom edge apart a little bit. So I'm probably going to undo this a couple of times. Okay, so that we have activated that. So I want to just pull a little bit like that there. And they're sticking to each other because that's what it does. So I think something like that. Maybe I can pull it out a little bit too while we're at it. Now you're coming back. Eventually it'll screw up and stick in there. I guess I could put pins down in there. You know, I think I'm going to pin the corners there and just pull them in place. We'll do that. We'll pop over here to the, yeah, that. to the, I'll use the pin lasso, and I'm just going to grab this corner here. That makes a pin. Come over here, and I've got a couple of pins. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's run the sim. So I'm just going to pull you out, maybe a little like that. I want to make sure I'm not putting too much tension on there. And I'm just going to pull you out a little bit. I think I'm just going to rotate these a little like so that they're oriented a little bit better in the direction of the fabric. And then this one looks like it's a little, there you go. I can see it's starting to come loose. And am I too far out? I'm too far out. Maybe a little further in. Okay, that's going to be undo bottom. Probably good enough. Make sure I got that selected. File, export, OBJ selected. Undo bottom. It's kind of tedious, but I think they'll look good when we get done. Okay, now we're just going to back up. Hopefully I can get back to all right, I think that's where I want to back up to. If it's doing what I think it's doing, it's undoing the pins. Pins, for some reason, take a little while to do and undo. And then what I'm going to do is pin the left half and the right half. So first, there we go. So if I pin the right half, we're going to do three morphs on the left side. And if I pin the left side, we'll do three morphs on the right side. And if I do those right, I won't have to do morphs to do both sides. You can use the left and the right together. That's what the plan is. Let's see how this goes. Let's do the selection box. And I'm going to try to, I'm going to miss just that edge there because I don't want to accidentally grab part of the underlying mesh there. You know what? I should probably just pin the backs first. We're going to redo this. So this one's just going to come a little bit over like so. I'm just going to put a pin in there. And then I'm going to do the front. And I think maybe right there. I'm going to create a pin there. Let's see how this goes. All right, that's good. That's what I wanted it to do. All right, let me double check and make sure I've got I do have my friction on there. So I want one, just pull the little part here. Two, we'll pull it out past the breast. And then three, we'll try to pull it off that shoulder a little bit. So I'm going to just try to get you to pull out over into here. Maybe I should put a little bit of gravity on to help. Right now it's just kind of floating a little too much. Let's back up to here. Simulation properties, I don't know. Let's try minus 2000. And then I'm hoping that extra tension from gravity will help this kind of stay in place a little. Mostly I'm getting that friction up there in the chest. So I think that's going to be open L01, file, export, OBJ selected, open L01, and should be good. All right, we'll pick up where we left off and just try to pull that out further. And do I want to try to Yeah, I think that's going to be, I think I'm going to go with that. Let me pop that up just a little bit and see how that works. I think that's fine. I'm going to make that LO2. Part of me wants to roll this over, and another part of me is happy with how this looks and is going to live with that. It'll save me a couple of days of my life not playing with that color, I think. File, export, OBJ selected. Open LO2. Let's sort you by date modified, so the latest one's at the top. Okay, and then LO3, I'm going to start just to tuck that off the shoulder. And then we'll go pop over to DAS and see how these are coming along. Making sure I didn't screw anything up. Is that going to be okay? I don't know. I might be able to get away with that. Let's see how this goes. File, export, OBJ selected again. Open O3. And I think I'm good. All right, let's see how this works. DAS Studio. We are selecting that one there. I'm going to hide this. Let's just make sure you are reset to 0. And then let's load in those other morphs. So we've done the, did I not do, where's my morph load on here? Do I have the right thing selected? I do have the right thing selected. Why am I not seeing my morphs? What the farfignugan? Did I somehow accidentally undo? I did save it over here. If I look over here, that morph is there. It's in morphs loader. Why am I in it? Now I see it. There it is. Okay. We're good. I'm going to hide this one again. All right, let's load in those other morphs we just did. I think those are the 3. No, I did the undo bottom too, right? Yeah, we did that. So undo bottom through here. Let's open those. I forgot to see if they actually looked good. We'll just accept that and see if we got any issues. Oh, they all came in. Let's just take a quick peek at how they're working. Undo bottom. Little janky. I could always smooth that out, I suppose, in whatchamacallit if I don't like that. Undo left one. Looks good. Huzzah. And having done that, they should now be copied into here. So we're going to export those out. Actually, let's just see how they're looking. Just and just you can just ignore the buttons. they're not properly set up right. I think that's going to be fine. So I'm going to save those out as a modifier asset. Make sure we're saving that to the base. I'm just going to come over here where all these morphs are loaded. We'll just dump those out there for right now. Okay, I think if I just do the right side, it's probably about all I can do with this. I don't have any other creative things that I can really do. So here, let's put that. So we're going to zoom back to our pins. So ideally, when the pins go away, that means, there we go. I can just delete selected pins. Now we're just going to pin down the left side and do kind of the similar thing with the right. I'm going to start back here, kind of like that. Let's pin those. Yo, I heard a noise. Out of that. Dude, how are you doing? Thank you for the raid, man. I'm making morphs for a dress. And then later on, at the rate I'm going, we'll get around to maybe adding the textures to the outfit. So this is actually a Cowgirl outfit. Hey, somebody copy and pasted. And Astrobot17, thank you for joining the raid. I appreciate that. Everybody, check out my man Outernet. Super chill streamer. I love hanging out with those Outernet streams. And my brain stops an awful lot. What am I doing? So this is actually a Cowgirl dress. I've already made boots. We've got bracelets. There are earrings and a cowboy hat. Here, we'll just get in some of this stuff here. Are you my boots? You look like my boots. There's, I think that's a bracelet. That's another bracelet. We got earrings to go with it. And, of course, a cowgirl hat. There we go. Yippee-ki-yay. They're not your problem. Damn it. Hey, Astrobot. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So anyhow, I'm adding morphs to the dresses right now. That's what we're in the process of. And I have to add it to that dress first, and then we transfer it to the real dress. It's a whole process. This is Marvel's Designer. This is awful a lot like a cloth or a sewing simulator, but it has an awesome cloth sim. So it is kind of cool. So I'm using that to make these morphs. And right now I'm pinning the left side down because we just got finished doing the morphs on the right side. And then I'm going to just double check my gravity. We're going to reset that to minus 2000. And then we're just going to run that. It should just come apart a little bit. So we're going to do, I'm going to do 3 of these. One's going to be open up one, kind of like this, where it's just opened a little bit. And we're going to open it more. She's got underwear on, don't worry. She's better dressed than a lot of the hot tub streamers. So, yeah, all right, let's save that out. File, export, OBJ selected. I say that a lot, don't I? This is going to be open our right side, and her right's on our left. R1, do that. Say okay. How's your stream, by the way, Adenet? Are you still here? What were you up to? They are playing. Oh, you're doing the art today. Cool. At least that's what Twitch thinks you're doing. What you're really doing is something else. Possibly could be something different. All right, I'm happy with that. That's RO2. Open RO2. And then we're just going to pull it down off the shoulder. Let's try that. And I think that's all the morphs that I'm going to add for this outfit. So, and then one more. I'm going to pull it off the shoulder. Let's do that. She's kind of sticky. I made her that way. There we go. I know it gets all stretched in there, but that's the look I want. Okay, let's maybe pull that off a little bit. All right, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to make that the, and then we're going to see how this looks with the left side morphs. Export OBJ selected. RO3. And have I saved this? I don't know. Do I want to save this? Probably not. Okay, I'm going to load them into this one right here. So load the morph targets. We already loaded in those, so we're going to load in these ones. Say okay. And here's hoping that everything goes right. Everything should have gone right. We'll just do a quick check up here. So those are the new morphs we just did. And by dialing them in, this will transfer them over to the real dress. This is just a proxy dress. All right, should be good. And I'm going to save those out in the real undone dress. And then I'm going to save the undone dress out again. And then, boom. Actually, I got to rename you, don't I? Hopefully I didn't just screw up my done dress. That would be sad. Dress undone all. Okay, I'm going to, I think this is good. I just have to put this onto the main character before I save it. And also we'll turn the textures, we'll put the textures on this again. But actually, let me just save it real quick. I have been saving you as undone, haven't I? Where did my undone go? There it is. Undone all OG. I gotta change that OG. I'm just gonna overwrite that. Say yes. This is probably good for right now. We're going to do a few more things to this dress and resave it. That's just kind of like a save point. Let's come over here and edit geometry and make sure it's converted to sub D. It already has been. I think I already did the smoothing modifier. I did. All right, so that's all good. Let's put the textures on it. I did save. There we go. We got our handy dandy little. Oh, and you got to be resaved because you're not a texture yet, are you? All right, I got to copy this surface here. I redid the geometry, so this doesn't have a texture on it yet. File. Where am I? I'm in the wrong thing right here. Copy selected. I'm going to paste it to those. Paste to selected surfaces. Excellent. Let's resave the material file. Right there. Dress grid. Yes. I'm going to do all of this without the simulation settings. Those don't have simulation settings. I'm going to have to apply them. Accept that. Let's, there we go. I've applied simulation settings to everything now. Should be good. I'm going to recopy and paste this just to get those simulation settings over onto the other parts. All right, I should be ready to save this now. So we're going to overwrite this one again. Dress undone all, although I don't need that OG. I can't see. I'm totally going to see next month, which starts tomorrow. I'm definitely going to go see an optometrist, get new eyes. I got frames, so I can get new glasses. I need new computer glasses, and they have to be 2.5 feet, something like that. Anyhow, already exists. We're replacing that. I haven't, oops. I have to put you onto this. Let's see if we can just do that without breaking stuff. I'm going to do it this way. Let's come over here. Edit scene identifier, and I'm going to tell it that, oh, you do like Genesis 8 already. So that's fine. I just need to make sure that this is actually on the Genesis 8 now. So I'm going to switch that from the dress it's currently on to the Genesis 8. Should be fine. Now I can save it. Dum, dum, dum. Yep, brain has stopped. I'm saving it again. There we go. All right. Do that. Look at that. I got that there. And now I'm going to just accept that. It should be good. All right. I've got the first undone version of the dress done. Should be fine. We're just going to double check stuff. I'm going to be bold. We're just going to delete everything and see how it's looking. Whoops. I've got to redo the buttons anyhow. That's right. Let's reload this. She's ready. She is. She'd be perfect for that, right? Gonna come to here, gonna come over here, gonna do this. I'm gonna look at, you know what, I'm gonna rename this because I don't need it to say OG. And then let's just put that on. Let's see how the D-force is working. It should just kind of fall apart. Without exploding or anything. All right, so that kind of works. And then what I'm going to do is when I put the buttons on, we're going to put them on the other side. I'm wearing a men's shirt, so my buttons are on the wrong side. All right, that's looking fine. So I think we're going to take a break from doing the morphs. So I'm going to do more or less the same thing for the Genesis 9 version. You know what I forgot to check? I forgot to check how that looks with the left and the right morph styled in together. And I'm going to switch you back to texture shaded because you just look better that way. And maybe Control L puts the headlamp on. This is actually the easiest way for me to see anything while I'm working. I'm going to come over here. Oh, you know what? We're going to tweak. We're going to clean this up. Since we're here, let's go into edit mode. We're going to change the color on all of these. So I like to make all my special morphs with this kind of red and black. Say okay to that. Now we're just going to save this into the set property group. Do I already have an actor special? Actor special. Okay, let's go take a look what we have in actor. Hey, those got all the right colors. These got all the right colors. Let me just make sure everything's pinned so it only does 100. Enable the limits on everything. Should be good. Let me just double check. You know what? My morphs seem to still be working. So that's happy. These are way too many adjustment morphs. And then our special morphs. These are the ones that we did earlier for the main outfit, but we transferred them over. There's the on-ground morph that Atherton likes so much. And then if I do this, and I combine it with, say, that, you know what? That's going to look fine. It didn't do anything weird. So I don't need to make additional morphs that'll do both of them together, because the left and the right can be used together. Excellent. Excellent. That saves me a little bit of morphing time. So I'm just double checking that this is arranged the way I want it to do. That's, I want, you know what? I want to change that to say adjustment instead of adjustments. So we're just going to change that. I'm just going to take that S off of there and accept that. And now I'm just going to save all of these back out again. What is in the hidden? Let's go take a look. Oh, I hate the texts in this. I'm looking. Oh, those are all JCMs. I don't need to save those. Okay. So I'm just going to save everything under actor. Oh, I have something in here that says adjustment. Let's fix that. No, that's good. That's my adjustments, right? Oh, I have a chest full body special and adjustment. Got it. All right. All right, this time we're saving for sure. Save that, not as a product, but as a base. Because this is the actual, this isn't an add-on. If it was an add-on, it would be a product, but this is the actual item, base item. So we're sticking this in base. Put that there. Accept that. It writes out all those morphs with the settings that we just adjusted. So we should be good with that. I think I'm going to start setting up material files. What time is it? 2:30, an hour and a half of torturing you, watching me make material files and thumbnails. Doesn't that sound like fun? So anyhow, making good progress here. I've got those morphs out of the way. I got to do, and then if I do an undo top or an undo bottom, I've got all those morphs I can just steal from here. But I'm not sure if that's overkill or not. Because when you have too many versions of something, it becomes a little confusing. Although I still may do undo top, undo bottom. So actually it's going to be undo all, undo bottom, undo top. And I'm going to strip out the, yeah. Well, let's set up the undo top right now. We'll do that. So we'll go back to Blender. And what are you? You're the Dale Western dress. 94.2. I don't want you. So we're going to do import. I think in morphs I had the main dress, right? Date modified. Undo that one right there. I think was the main. So I'm going to just do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the attachments from the top here that we need. More counting. I think I still remember. We'll get the ones from the bottom first, because I can remember that was like 34 or something, right? So it's going to tab in. And you know what? I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I want is I want to delete from here. You know, we'll just do this in baby steps. And let me zoom in. And then what I want is, I think I want you. I choose you, Pikachu. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll just pop onto the inside where we can see what we're doing. I'm just going to get those, delete them, and then just get the rest of those out. So these are the invisible attachments that holds everything together. in the main dress. That went too far. You're just not. Oh, it's because of that. I could probably hide stuff and select, but getting that right, by the time I get that right, I might already be done just doing brute force. And then, can I just select you down like that? I can. That's going to work until I hit a try or something. See right there, it's going to break right there. But we'll just delete those. All right, that's going to be undo bottom. Western dress, undone bottom. I think we're good. That's as an export. Dangity dang it. That's an import. I wanted to do an export. There we go. That looks good. Export that back over to here. So let me see if we can. I'm going to bring back the original dress. This one here, OG. That's not going to stay around, but right now this is just the main dress. Oops. Apparently I broke it. Dang it. Did I break my main dress? Damn it. Probably happened when I did the undone version. Yeah, I broke it good. Ah, nuts. All right, let me see if we can fix this. If we can get it back. I probably accidentally overwrote here. So let's try this. So the undone works. Let's reload in import existing file. Let's go to whip. Let's see if I've got something in here that says Western dress. Probably those say boots. Never mind. Dress G8F. I think that's the right one. Let's try that. I need to bring that in at 10,000 maybe. I don't know. Let's accept it like this. Oh, there we go. That worked. All right, let's see if I can do this without breaking things again. It done broke good. Select an item. Dress. Select another item. That dress. I'm not going to be clever this time. I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, so now I have this dress. You need to be, I need to change that name just a little bit. Is good. Let's put you onto here. Do I have to do the thing? This thing? I do. I have to change that to a preferred base. Genesis 8 female. That one right there. Accept that. Let's drop a T-force modifier on there. Let's drop a material on here. I can almost bet my surfaces are wrong, aren't they? Oh, they got the Farfignugan. They all got the bad names in here. Oh, and I gotta regroup this shit too. Oh well. Well, let's try this. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to be bold. Let me see if it picks up the materials if I do it this way. That is an export. That is an import. This one right here. Okay, then I'm going to run the transfer tool like this. Elvira. Was it Elvira? I mean, Elvira, Princess of the Dark? Or Elmira from Animaniacs? Wasn't it Elmira? She always had the pets, the world's worst pet owner. Giddy Papa Mau Mau? Oh, it's a country song. I don't know my country songs. You loved her from Animaniacs. Not necessarily my favorite Animaniac. Pinky and the Brain were definitely my favorite Animaniacs. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to just do this, accept that. Oops. I done broke it good. All right, we're not going to do that. I'm doing a quick experiment here. Yeah, I done broke it good, didn't I? You know what? We're not going to keep. I'm going to shut down Daz. I'm going to reopen it just to be safe. They're both Elvira Boy the Oak Ridge Boys. Okay. Let's back over to here. I think I may have inadvertently overwrote, but come on, Daz. Come on, Daz. I super believe in you. Not really. It's not launching. It's still probably shutting down the database. Let's try it again. There we go. All right, let's go back up here. So OG is broken, right? Yep. This is broken, right? Yep. I'm going to just call you, I'm going to rename you, call you buttons for right now. Because I can steal the buttons back out of there. I wonder, do you still have your morphs? Nope, you still don't have the morphs. You lost the morphs when I blew up the geometry. Okay. So at least this one is good. So let's put you on a character. trying to fix stuff I broke. I sometimes feel that's half of what I do. Alrighty. And if I import an existing file, I think this is a good version here. And I think you are 10,000. Yep, that looks good. Now if I do the, I'm going to try this one more time. So, and I want to check something on this. Can I see what your internal name is? All right, that's part of my problem right there is I got that named badly. So let's undone that. So that's what happened is the undone dress ended up overwriting the done dress because I didn't change this name right here. Hopefully, and now I'm going to have this broken dress in here, but I think I can fix that. So let's change the name of this. And you don't need to say all, you just need to say dress. And if you screwed something up once, just do the same thing again and see if it happens. That's doy. Replace with target. I don't know. Maybe we can do this, get away with it. Okay, that might have worked. Let me try. Let me see if this breaks things. All right, I'm going to overwrite OG. I'm going to make sure that that does not say undone. It says that. You should swap out this for the other bad dress. And I'm going to check and see if both of these would still work. And did you pick up the surfaces, by the way? I think you did. Yay! Only that attachment's now showing up again. That's supposed to be invisible. I can fix that, though. All right, let's double check some things just to make sure I'm on the right track here. I have to redo all my rigid follow notes, though, because I lost those. Anyhow, OG comes in. That's what we just did. Undone. Looks good. Let's check my morphs. Did that not do anything? Oh, that did do anything. Yay. All right, looks good. All right, I'm going to try not to break that one. And let's check the morphs on this. Do these all work? Did those get transferred over? Looks like it. You know what? I've got these. These aren't going to work. At least some of these are going to just look weird. See, that just looks weird. Because we've got that extra geometry in there. So I'm going to delete these out. But some of these are still good. The on the ground should still look good. So I think I'm good with this. I sort of recovered my disaster. I think I'm just going to focus on setting up materials for a little while. I have to reattach my buttons, but we saved the buttons out. And then I just have to redo all the nodes. At least I think I saved the buttons out. Let's find out. Let's check. I named it buttons. So basically, you know what? I'm going to get rid of all these nodes, but I want to keep all these buttons like this. I'm going to unparent all of those. And I can get rid of the that one right there, I think is the bad apple. Now I've got my buttons in the right spot. I just have to reattach them to rigid follow nodes like we did on Thursday. Yo, Atherin, you like the new dress? Yippee-ki-yay. Thanks. I'm happy with how it's looking. Oh, those block. Oh, you liked the block dress. Yeah, that's my sentiment exactly. I'm going to just save these out as a scene subset. Overwrite that buttons there. Let's just do this. Scene subset. I'm going to come back and fix and reattach those later. Already exist. Yep. Let's just uncheck all, and then I just want to save these buttons. Accept those. All right, so that's in a spot where I can get them back too. Oh, the dress is nice too. All right, let's I think I can just delete those now. We're just gonna do material files now. I'm gonna do them for the dress first. And then I still have to make, and then we'll pop over the substance. I'm gonna finish making the texture maps for the hats. What is art sharing? Art sharing YouTube videos now. Eldervira line dancing. Hey, they're not dressed right. They don't look country at all. Yeah, this outfit would be perfect for line dancing. Not gonna lie. I did have that kind of in mind when I was doing it. As opposed, this is like fashion cowgirl. I still want to fix those sleeves up, but I'll do that later. I'm gonna do textures, that's right. So, let's save this as a thumbnail file. So let's do some a sub. I need to find. I gotta go find a background for this. So I'm moving my content folder over to screen 2 for a second while I go find my my one-click wonder texture settings by Cake One. And I'm just making sure we don't accidentally see something that we shouldn't see on stream. Where am I going? I'm going to light presets. Light presets. I'm going to iRay. There we go. We're close enough now. I can bring this back. Why do I have Puppeteer in here? I never use Puppeteer. I should just get rid of that. These are pretty much the go-to set right here. Click and render IBL set. They have others, but this one just has the generally best combination I usually end up using. I think maybe we'll try that one there. Let's see. And I'm going to set this to be small for DAS tip files. So we render out the tip file at 256 by 256. And then later on, we're going to make 91 by 91 thumbnails out of this. I think I'm just going to kind of come back like that. I have one version that's set up for just a short outfit. So we're going to do that. And then we're just going to hide you. And I got to save this. There we go. Hide the Genesis. Keep that file. Save as scene. Promos. Do I have a Dale folder? I do have a Dale folder. There we go. Dale Western thumbnails. Let's do that. Let's take a look at how this is. Am I going to be happy with this? Almost. Hold on. I think I have my generic lights turned on. Let's turn those off. Right. Okay, that's good. I'm going to go with that. All right, I'm going to hit save on that. Yep, back in the day, it was Snow Bunny's favorite song to dance to. Wow, that got repeated a lot. You know, I have to set the bots up to ignore me, I think is what I have to do. Because I seem to be... Because you probably saw that show up twice, now that I'm thinking about it. And it probably showed up twice over on YouTube. But I don't need it to show me and then have the bot repeat what I say. Because the chat window's doing that already. Okay. Anyhow, what are we doing? Material files and thumbnails. So we're going to knock out the dress stuff first. So, and then we'll do the boots. And then, actually, I'll do the cowboy hat after we knock out the dress. Because I still have to do some textures for that. So after we do all these dress files, we're going to... And I've got to resave that with that attachments made invisible. So we're going to do that. So right here, the attachments, I'm going to say invisible on that. I'm going to resave this over this. Say yes to that. We're going to uncheck our simulation settings. Ooh, you don't have a simulation. I'm going to let's cancel. It'll be fine. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this, only that needs to be fixed for these two lower ones here. So I think attachments. And then what I got to do is you need to be fixed because I added extra zones down here. Let's copy selected surfaces. Let's actually just make sure I have deforce on everything. I'm going to paste you to this and this. There we go. Then we're just going to resave this. There's a material preset. These are going fast because they've already been saved once and they're in the database. I'm going to turn the database off in a second here. Would you like to replace it? Yes. Uncheck all simulation settings. Excellent. Okay, I am currently in perspective view. I'm going to switch that over to a camera. Like this one right here that says top. I'm going to use that instead. This way, next time I open up the file, this camera's set up. I think I'm just going to, we're just going to get the whole dress. I have one version of these textures that needs to be a little bit different for the short. Anyhow, so that's good. Let's reapply that. Let's do a render. All right, let's look good. I'm going to move this over to here for just a second because I'm not sure. Okay, that's where I saved last time. Okay, we're going to save you to... All right, I'm going to cancel that. Here we go. It's in a safe spot. So we're going to save you in projects, dresses. Dale Western dress. We are doing the... I'm doing this over here in Genesis 8. These can all be copied over and be used for Genesis 9 after we're done with them. And you are, I think that I just did the green one, right? So we're going to swap that out. Okay. Do the worn version. So I think I might have 6 versions of the dress. So we're going to save you. Use the old save last render button. Save that over there. Say yes. Okay, now I'm going to turn the CMS off because now it's going to really slow things down. So we're going to come over to smart content. Right there. Over here. Stop CMS. We're going to do this the smart way because the fast way is not that smart. We are good. Now we can just start. Let's do that. Come over here. And I should be able to, with the exception of attachments, grab all of this and update them. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go find my textures. I generated most of these earlier today, so they're all ready to just be put on and saved out. Somewhere in here. Down here. Textures. And then after we do the dress, we'll create a few more textures for the hat and save those. That's the plan. Although we've only got an hour left. There's the dress textures. Let's arrange this so maybe I can get more of these in here. How do I turn the preview off again? I always forget. There's a... Which one of you hides the preview? Wah. I forget. Is it in my options? Probably not. I'm just going to live with it then. All right, dragging and dropping. Let's see. We got the green ones done. Let's move on. And that is black, blue. Let's see. These are... Black is pretty much the same as the green. So I think I can just update the color on that and save it. So that's going to be black. Oh, it's kind of the denim-y black, so I think maybe I should put that on the denim. Yeah, we'll do that with the denim versions. All right, let's do denim blue first. Denim blue there. Dress blue height. I'm going to put you over right there. Dress blue normal map. Goes right about there. To that blue. Blue, good. Dale Western blue roughness goes right about there. And the metallicity is 0. So that should be the blue version on just part of the dress. Because I only had one surface selected. Copy. Paste. There we go. That's the blue version with a little red and white gingham pattern on the top. All right, let's save that. And I'm just going to call you denim blue. In 02 denim blue. Maybe less R's in denim. I think that's good. And uncheck simulation settings and accept that. All right, now we're going to do the worn version. let me see if I can find my blue worn. So there's the blue worn color. That's the blue worn roughness, and the bump and the height map are more or less the same. You know, that roughness is really close. And then we're just going to save you out. Material preset. And that's going to be worn denim blue. And check the old simulation settings. All right, moving along. You know what? Now I'm set for the. I think there's a worn black. We'll just do the worn black. Basically, we just swap the color out for that one. And actually, 3 is going to be pink. 4, I'm going to make suede. 5 will be black, so we're going to save this as black. And then 6 will be white. So let's do that. Material preset. 02 denim. So you're going to be 05 denim black. I think pink's not denim, but it might be denim. I forget now. You know what? I should just say, we're going to get rid of denim. We're just going to say black. 05 black. Actually, that's the worn. Cancel that. Try it again. I should have just saved it and then renamed it. Okay, back to the old uncheck all simulation settings. Save that. I'm just going to swap you out for the black. And swap you out for the regular blue roughness. Now, honestly, I'm not sure those make a difference, but I have them set up that way anyhow, just in case. Once again, material preset, 05 black. Okay, 3 down, 3 to go. Okay, this I think will be white. Where's my white color? There's white. I know it looks like it's a gray. Okay, save you. Okay, this is going to be 06. Okay, I'm just going to, I'm just going to do that and then swap this color out for the worn white, which is right there. Oops, dang it. It doesn't make any difference. Actually, let me cancel that. Let's do it this way. I'm probably getting these colors janked up anyhow. There we go. There's the white worn. I have my displacement maps in here. I do. Okay, excellent. The sudden realization. Did I have my displacement maps on? Were they off this whole time? And I have to redo all of these? No, it's on. Huzzah. There we go. All right, worn white. Uncheck all of that. Okay, I have 2 more to go. So let's put the clean. I think pink is more or less the same as the green. Or is it the denim? Or is pink? Did I do denim for the pink too? I do not remember. I may have. Is everything else denim? No, the suede's different. So I'm going to apply denim and then just change the color map out for the pink. Right there. Save that. This is 03. I'm just going to call you pink. And 03. Okay, do that, and we'll put the worn color in for the pink. Save that. 03 worn pink. Always with the unchecked in the simulation settings. All right, and then I'm going to do suede. Suede has its own. Suede might actually have metallicity. I'm not sure. Let's find out. So I'm going to drag and drop the suedes in here. If I can find them. Boop, 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 boop. Are you? Nope. Pink. Nope. Suede. There we go. And suede. These settings are all a little. I don't think I had a metal map for that one. Okay. So that goes there. The height map's a little bit different, as is the normal map, because that suede texture is a little. You did not change. Bad boy. You did not change again. You let me just move that pointer around in there, and then you laughed at me. What are you? You're suede, and then I just have to adjust the roughness on the suede. Some of that's a little, and that didn't drop either. God damn it. Drag and dropping isn't all that. And I'm sure it's my fault, right? It's got to be my fault. It can't possibly be. Okay, there. Oh, there's two suedes, though. There's a short suede, too. So anyhow, that's suede. I'm just going to do a quick. Oh, this is so small. It makes a bad example. Anyhow, let's save you. 0 preset. You're going to be 04 suede. Okay, 04 suede. Suede's interesting because I actually put trim on the short version of it. So I have to save that separate as a short version as well. Anyhow, I'm going to put in the worn suede roughness map if I can find it. Worn suede. There it is, worn suede roughness. No, dang it. I forgot to select all of these. Worn suede roughness is right there. Worn suede. It's right here. Okay, I'm looking at 04 suede worn. Uncheck those. It's good. Okay, now I'm going to do a short version just for the suede because it has a separate. I actually color this trim zone on the short version. I was being too fancy. So low hem, low. I need low trim. I need those both to be lows, and those get hidden. And then all of this gets the short version of the color map. which is that one right there. I can see a little stripe on there. Then we're going to save that. And I'm going to, that is short or worn. I'm going to say worn suede short. Let's do that. And then I'm going to do kind of the same thing for the short regular. Let's do this. Oh, hold on a second. Hello.
Hi, I'm gonna have to take some of my Adderall.
Okay.
You just give me the bottle. I mean, probably have to drink something.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm really upset.
I know. You want to keep the bottle?
Yeah,
Okay.
took a week without me.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it should be free for now.
Okay.
We've got to figure out a way to get this fixed.
I know. Okay.
You got another credit card?
I don't know. I'll get back on it next week.
That's right. It's always.
Well, it's the weekend, so Monday. I forgot about the lawyer, but it's on my calendar again. I know. I know. Okay. All right, we're kind of back. I think. Where am I? Where's my headphones? Mother of Carp. Did Mother of Carp pop in here? Did I get a raid? I got a raid. Mother of Carp. Thank you for that raid. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry, I stepped away for a minute. I don't catch your stream often enough. I don't know what it is. You're one of those people. I would probably pop in if I noticed you too. That's the thing. I am stalking you. I mean, I am following you on Instagram. And Adam Serene, thank you for joining the raid. I appreciate that. Ooh, Racket is in the house, baby. And must de-stream. All right, off de-streaming.
Chris, pay attention.
My camera. Got it. There we go. I'm back. I'm making a dress. It's a Cowgirl themed dress. I am currently doing the textures for it. We're in the middle of... So this is Dad's studio. No wonder you didn't know. Yeah, when are you streaming? Or do you have regular stream times? I can't... I like see the notices for things after they've happened. Is my problem. You do. I should try to remember that and see if I can pop in more often. Tuesday nights, Saturday mornings. Okay. Hey, Art, remember that. I don't know. Art's memory is probably worse than mine. I would say Charles, but I know Charles's memory is worse than mine. Just glad to catch you. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So what was I doing? I was saving material files. You do have to run. All right, thanks for the raid. I appreciate that. I will catch you later. Definitely, everybody give Mother Carp a follow. She's super cool. And I think it's that blue-haired girl or something on Instagram. Or that blue-haired lady over. No, I'm getting that's somebody else. Never mind. Anyhow, what am I doing? I'm saving material files so that we can change the materials on this dress. This is an outfit that's going to have a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and some earrings and bracelets to go with it. There's buttons, but I don't have the buttons on right now. So yeah, let's save this. Then I'm going to render thumbnails. Then we're going to work on getting textures on the cowboy hat. I have one of the textures done. I think I just have to save a bunch out. Brain stopped. There we go. I remember how this program works now. This is going to be 04 suede short. So the suede version of the dress has a unique short version. And then we're just going to uncheck all of our simulations. So I do make stuff with Marvelous Designer, Blender, and Substance Painter. And it all ends up in DAZ Studio, which is what we're working in right now. And that was the last one to save. So I'm going to render out these thumbnails. Then we're going to convert them to thumbnails. Then we're going to look at the cowboy hat. So I think we've already got these two done. Let's do this. Browse to file location. So I'm going to open you up, kind of like this. Okay, so those two are rendered. So we need to start from here down, starting with the blue denim. So basically, activate blue denim, hit render. Wait a minute. Do that. Save the thumbnail. Over that is good. Yes. Go to the next one. Hit render. So this is the dirty version of the blue denim. That went nice and fast. Overwrite that. Say yes. We got pink. Control R. So this is sort of retro line dancing country. Close here. Do that. Save this. So this is the sort of wonderful, tedious stuff that I do on stream. Eventually, this will be a product at DAZ. At least that's the plan. I've got good progress on this, so ideally I will submit this next week. Fingers crossed. That's the worn pink. Okay, that's the short suede. There'll be a short. I'm going to make a separate material file that will just make things short, but this dress has a special texture along this edge, so it gets its own. It needs its own special material file. So that's the regular suede version. That's the short, dirty suede version. Right there. Yep. That's the long, dirty suede version. Always with the dirty maps. Is that dirty boy? I do have an opacity map to tatter it up too. But by default, I'm not going to put those on here. That was this one here, I think. We're now in the black. Control R. I don't know. I'm not crazy about that. I'm probably going to tweak this. Tweak that one a little bit. But for right now, Let's get that out of the way. All right, that's the dirty black or worn. I use worn. Although dirty might be more appropriate, but I don't know. Just for consistency. I think I just saved that. Here's white. Just a generic. I like to have generic whites and generic blacks of most things. All right, those are rendered. Let's update this. So those are the tip files, which if you hover your mouse over, you can kind of see pops up. So now I just need to resize that into the thumbnail files and rename them a little bit. So I'm going to browse over here. I'm going to, I don't know, let's just do it this way. I'm going to get rid of all of these little ones right here. I'm going to replace those. I still have to work on the boots, but those are probably not going to be done today. I want to move on to the hat first. So I'm deleting those. I remember how to delete things. Sure. I can't see chat anymore. That's okay. Chat's not doing anything. Then we're just going to do, I don't know, I want to say, should be like 12 of these. And resize. So that's a proper thumbnail size. I'm going to sort by date, so these all show up at the top. And then I can just grab those 12 like that and rename them. Use the old rename with the power rename. All right, I'm going to replace that with, it's gone. That with this. And now Dash should see these as the thumbnails. Oops, I got two that are broken. Let's go figure out what it did. Which two got broken? The black and the worn suede. That is blue. Where is the black? I thought I had 12 of these. That says 12. So which one to use the black? Oh, you know what? I probably skipped two. There's 14, right? Because there's a bunch of the suede. So let me resize that. So that just needs to be renamed. You know what? I can just use the renamer for that. What am I doing? And then what's the other one that was missing? 04 worn suede. 04 worn suede. For some reason I didn't do that one. Right there. And then rename. Okay, we should be good now. Refresh. There we go. Look at those happy little thumbnails. They're so pretty. All right, what do we got? I got a half hour, and I'm going to do the cowboy hat. So let's get a cowboy hat in here. I'm just going to do the cowboy hat now. The band will be done later. So, boom, boom. There's the cowboy hat. I think it comes in with the band by default. But right now, we're just going to work on making material files for the cowboy hat. And we're going to pop over to Substance Painter and see where we are with stuff for that. Is this good? I'm going to hit save on this thumbnail here. Let's pop over to, let's get Substance Painter open and finish making the textures for this. I kind of set them up, but I don't think I exported them out. Close that, resize you, file, open recent. It should be somewhere in here, Dale Cowboy Hat. I think that's it. I think currently I just kind of have this tan suede done. So let's go check. Where did my textures go? There they are. So here, let's go take a look at what we've got for the cowboy hat. Okay, so right now I just have the one texture for the beige. So let's export out the worn texture for that. And we'll pick it and we'll take it from there. So I have set up everything over here. Let's see, leather suede, that is the black. That is for the headband. So I'm going to change the color of that, I think. So right now I'm going to do suede, brown, pink, black, and white is what the plans currently are. Boy, you're taking your freaking time, aren't you? Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. So that's the default. Do I have my dirt in here? I do have my dirt in here. This was made for the Storm Raiders outfit a while back, and I've just been reusing this incessantly because it's easy just to load it in, turn it on, and then save out my dirty versions. There we go. There's the dirty beige. Control. And what are my stitches? I think my stitches are good right now. Control. Shift E. I'm going to do 5 channels, but I'm going to delete most of these. All right, so that's black, so we don't need that. And this are the same as the other suede, so we can get rid of those. And then I'm just going to call you, I think, beige. Actually, this is going to be worn, and this is going to be beige worn. Okay, let's copy you. Because Chris can't spell beige. Right here, I'm going to say worn. And this I'm just going to say worn. Right, I'm just basically doing different colors of suede for the hats. I might get fancier later on, but for right now, this is the direction I'm heading in. I think this is good. Is this good? Yep. Got those. Pop back over to here. Paste them into this folder here. So they're now in the project. Pop back over here. Close you. Now I just need to save out color maps. And also, I'm going to tweak the headband colors while we're at it. So let's do this. And I might adjust the stitching a little bit. Now, hide that. Gotta bring you up. I think I'm going to make this leather grain darker. So you know what? I'm going to call that let's take you and put you right there in front of Suede, and then let's make a copy of that. Did that work? Of course that didn't work. Why would that work? I have to do it this way. I thought I said it's Control D. Okay, Control D. I did a Shift D. There we go. That one I'm going to put right there. That one I'm going to turn the dirt off, and then we'll run back and get the dirts later. Okay, so I want that to actually be maybe actually, is that a good match there? That color. I'm going to just make that darker. Darker than this. So I'll do that. It's thinking about it. Looking good. Stitches are looking fine. This is still thinking. Hopefully my stream's not running too slow. Chris, can I a Bryce into... Can I import a Bryce into DAS? I wouldn't. If you're looking at something that's a Bryce format, I would skip it. I don't think you can unless you do something like export the OBJ. But on the other hand, I really haven't touched Bryce since the aughts. So it has been a couple of years, I'm not going to lie. On the other hand, that might be pretty close to the last time Daz updated Bryce, too. So if I remember correctly, you can't just bring a Bryce file straight into Daz. You might be able to export some of the objects out, but your textures are going to be jank. So if you're like looking at a Bryce project at Daz, I would skip it. If you downloaded something that looks interesting, maybe you want to play with it. But if I remember correctly, you probably have to open up Bryce to get it out. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. There might be an importer in DAS to open up a Bryce file, which I don't know what is, like a BC BR5 or BC5 or something like that. And now I've forgotten what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm exporting this as a texture. That's right. Control Shift E. So I need to do these as just colors. You know what? I'm just going to set up these bands first, and then we're going to work on the exports. So let's do Control D. I'm going to put that right there. You found an interesting balloon for your current scene. At least it's free stuff, so you could probably play with it. Is that a Bryce format? Dang, dude. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, it says it's an OBJ, so you can use that, and it has texture maps. So if you got the OBJ and it's got the texture maps, you can import that and apply these manually, and you should be good to go. And just ignore this thing that says Bryce. All right, we're moving along. Hide, open. And I'm going to adjust that to... I have a color I want to try on this. Let me try that. So you know what? I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to add a fill layer. We're going to put a mask with a color selection on there. I'm going to select that. And I'm going to change. I have a map in here that I can never remember the name of. So we're going to go Hunting for this thing. It's the same kind of pink texture that I'm using on the dress, up on the yoke, and also I'm using it on the boots. Oops, did I go? So I'm looking for that. I'm going to see if that looks okay on this headband. If I can find it, it's in here somewhere. I probably should have memorized what the name was, or at least paid attention. That would have been too easy. There it is. LSD. Of course. I'm going to do that. We got a color. We're going to take you and drag you into here. So I have that. We're going to tile this up a little bit so we can kind of see that pattern in there. And I think I'm going to do that with the... Yeah, I'm going to do that with this. But you know what? Yeah, that's going to be fine. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that or not. We'll see. All right, moving along. This is the black one, so let's make this. I'm going to make that midnight black. Should be good. Well, let's turn that on so we can see it. It's thinking about it now. And then we're going to save all these files out, and if we've got time, we can start setting them up in DAZ.